Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a good one. You know, you wake up on a Monday and you think, there's probably not much going on, right? Except this is a hot week. We've got Apple today. I bring that up because they're going to be talking about AI products or new products with AI built in. That could have an effect on any AI stock as well as any AI projects in the crypto space. So that's going to be very interesting to me. Something else that happens this week, we get CPI, Consumer Price Index, as well as PPI, Producer Price Index numbers this week. Now, there's a big debate going on about whether the Fed should raise interest or cut interest rates by 25 basis points or 50 basis points. I'm beginning to hear a lot of people talk about there's only a small group called recessionistas, as I heard this morning. Funny name. But yeah, it's only a small group of people that are saying, oh, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And they're saying the economic data does not support that theory. So yeah, I'm expecting PPI numbers to come in and say, yeah, 25 basis points is good. I'm expecting PPI to do the same. And remember, you're looking at the decision for September was already made. The numbers that we see now are going toward the next rate cut because there will be a next one. So you have to pay attention to things like that as you look at the market. Now, right now, the market has come back a bit, this morning, but I'm not seeing the volume actually support that. And I'll show you in the numbers when we go over them a little bit later. What else do we have? Well, we have renewed warnings from the FBI saying that North Korean hackers are targeting crypto. Not a shock there, not a shock at all, especially since just a little while ago, just a few days ago, we got news that North Korean hackers were targeting big major spot ETFs, Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs. So I'm pretty sure those companies are on serious alert, looking for any kind of anomalies, any kind of anything that's going on that might say that North Korea is in their systems. That's pretty scary when you think about it, right? I mean, I'm wondering when the West will actually say North Korea is sponsoring those hackers. One, duh. Two, that's war, right? It might not be conventional, but they are waging war. And with the amount of money that they've been able to siphon off or steal, that's a pretty effective war campaign that they're running. And I'm just wondering, when are we going to strike back? I don't know. Send them to the age of darkness. I don't know, just whatever it is. To explode an EMP and take out lights and electricity, things like that. But North Korea has been at war against everybody else for a really long time. A really long time. And it's costing big money to big companies and small companies alike. And I'm just wondering when the West is going to wake up and just say, we need to get together and do something about it. Whatever that do is, like, I don't think it'd be conventional, and I don't think it should be, but I think we should be doing something, right? Because it's scary that you can have, a country waging war against the world. They're not just striking the United States, they're striking countries all over the place, businesses all over the place. So we need to be paying attention. I think we need to move, we need to act. That's just me, because it does affect the markets. What else is going on? Ripple's CTO actually did confirm that the launch of the RLUSD, or Ripple's new stablecoin or expected stablecoin, will launch for institutional investors only, at least at the beginning. And I'm sitting back and I've been telling you guys, Ripple is not meant for the common person. They were never aiming for the common person. They were always aiming for institutional investors and institutional use. Now, it eventually gets to retail, but that's not where their focus is. If you want a coin like that one that's focused like that, look at Stellar. That's where they're at. But I'm waiting to see what kind of an impact that will be, considering Tether is the largest. Then you have Circle, or USDC. And I'm just wondering how big Ripple's RLUSD will be out of the gate, right? And I wonder if it's going to act more like basically a private CBDC versus a normal stablecoin. So it's going to be interesting to watch that. I also want to find out, like, how are they backing it? I know there'll be like various assets and things like that, but specifically what and where, all that good stuff matters to me. Flare founder says that the enhanced offerings from Ripple, from XRP Ledger, meaning the smart contracts that are expected to come in 2025, are going to be very good for increasing interoperability and scalability between Flare and XRP. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just going, that's interesting. That's very interesting. We'll see what it does, but if it becomes something else where again it's focused on institutional, I think you're going to lose a lot of retail investors in that space. Now it's good to hold. Now for me, I believe for me and my portfolio, it's good to hold on to XRP. I did buy a little bit more just a couple of weeks ago. Will I be buying any more beyond that? Probably not. I'm probably all done buying Ripple. Buying XRP. Why? Because, the focus is different. And I think that when I look at the GMBX factor of other coins, that are similar in use case and things like that, that have similar capabilities, I think my money is, best used elsewhere. I really do. Look at Cardano. That's a great one to look at. If I'm looking at, XRP and I'm looking to move someplace else, or at least start ramping up in another one of my slots that I have. I'm probably going to ramp up on Cardano. I'm probably going to ramp up on Toncoin. Polygon, once everything finishes and the dust settles with Pole, I'll probably do that as well. But there are a few other coins that I'd be interested in. SHIB is another one that I'd be interested in. But we'll wait and see when I start revamping my DCA strategy, which I do once a month. I set my DCA strategy. I know what I want to buy, but then I look at the news over the previous month, what I'm expecting over the next month, and then I readjust, about once a month, sometimes just once a quarter, depending on how everything's going, what my buying trend will be. What else is going on? Friend.tech. Wow. That coin, Friend, has seen a decline of about 40%. And the reason why? Apparently, their smart contract got transferred to an Ethereum null address. That is more than just a little bit of a setback. That's more than just a little bit of a setback. So that's devastating. So I'm waiting to see what pans out from that. That's going to be interesting to see. SocialFi, hasn't been doing all that well, but this is a major, major big deal. So one, I'm going to want to find out, well, how did it happen? Why did it happen? When did it happen? There's all the details around it, because I also want to know, well, are they going to try to recover? You can't recover from a null address, but are they going to try to recover the business, and just what are you trying to do? Something else that I think about that comes to mind is, it's a business, right? So it's a business that has a coin, and I'm kind of like, should it have just been a business? Is the question that I have. In which case, maybe there are different options, and maybe they're weighing those options now, which is why I'm saying I'm going to be following that pretty heavy. Bitcoin ETFs, $706 million in outflows. Wow. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And $91 million in outflows for Ethereum spot ETFs. The 706 was for Bitcoin spot ETFs around the world, right? Around the world. So the 12 that are out there. So that's interesting in that time period, since I think May or something like that. BlackRock obviously experiencing the least because they have been on such a buying spree. Not to say that they've never have outflows. They have, but they have been buying and, basically drinking their own Kool-Aid, as we say, meaning they've been buying their own ETF. They've had their other funds buy into the ETF so that they can minimize outflows. Larry Fink's not playing games. When he said he's turned around with regard to, crypto, he is backing it up with action. But in that same token, I think that retail investors need to start stocking up on Bitcoin. So if you're not buying Bitcoin on a regular basis, I strongly suggest you do, because it's only going to get more expensive. Even when you look forward and you start thinking about, well, what's going to happen, in about, a year when everything goes up? Let's suppose by the end of the year, everybody says, it's going to be at least $100,000. What happens if it hits $100,000? That's almost twice as much as where it is right now. Are you going to be able to afford $100,000 to get a Bitcoin? Just one. I think not. I think most people are not going to be able to do that. So start racking up now while you can, while it's low or lower, right? and just keep racking up. I have a new rule that I've put in place for myself where if I buy something, I have to buy the same amount in Bitcoin. So if I spend $500 on whatever assortment, I have to spend $500 on Bitcoin. So that's my budget. I'm doing a 50% Bitcoin thing right now. Really am. Because again, I'm not necessarily buying Bitcoin because the price is going to go up. I mean, the price is going to go up. I'm buying Bitcoin because Bitcoin can be leveraged in different ways versus other altcoins. Very, very different ways versus other altcoins. That's why I'm stocking up on Bitcoin. Right? Can other coins actually, reap more money? Yeah. Just look at the GMBX factor and you can see that. Right? But when I see everything that's going on now, I'm sitting back and I'm just going, yeah, I think I'll pay attention to what's going on with everything out there, but I'm still going to rack up Bitcoin because I think there's going to come a point where I'll be able to leverage Bitcoin to do whatever it is I want to do as that number keeps rising and just live off of that. That might be my piece, my dividend giver right there. Shave off a little bit, right? So that's the game I'm playing with that one. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should look at the numbers. Let me get my notes out of the way. So we'll start with a GMB crypto tracker, GMBX factor 250, and just look, just in general, just what's going on in terms of the GMBX factors, which are looking pretty nice right now, right? You look at Dogecoin, it's got a 6.46. Like if I'm just looking for opportunities, this is where I look. I'm looking for, big numbers, obviously, but I'm looking for realistic numbers, right? Some coins I think, you're not going to get there. When I look at Cardano, I think that's a realistic number. An 8x GMBX factor? Wow. Yeah, I think it can do that. Avalanche, same thing. I think that's realistic. When I look at Bitcoin, yeah, I think it's absolutely realistic. Have to do the math on anything beyond that all-time high. Right? That's really how that's going to have to work. But when I look at other coins and they're not near their GMBX factors, I'm sitting back and I'm going, there are things that we could do. For Bitcoin Cash, do I think that 37.85 is realistic? No, not at all. Not at all. But do I think it has a high GMBX factor? Yes. Do I think a portion of that number, a percentage of that number is doable? Yes. For Polkadot, I don't know. I don't have a slot for Polkadot. Polkadot has not impressed me enough for me to create a slot for it or for me to, give up something else to get Polkadot. I just don't see it. But let's go to the top 25 losers on the crypto tracker. And right now we have Sats Ordinals down 7%. You see how quickly we go from 7 to 6 and then down to 4. That means that most of the stuff is on the positive side because things have shot up. See, you get down to 0. So when I look at Sats Ordinals down 7%, it's off 67% off its all-time high. It's got a 2x GMBX factor. I'm sitting back and I'm going, yeah, that's a real thing. That can be done. That's doable. SUI is next. It's got a 1.37x factor. I'm like, yeah, that's doable. For those two, it's doable. Everybody else moving sideways. Like, look at Dogs. Dogs is moving sideways for sure. So I'm not worried about Dogs right now. What I am thinking about is, let's go back over to the top 25 winners. And then you start to see some big numbers over here. Keep going down. Aave up 8%, GMBX factor of 3.88. Toncoin up 7%, GMBX factor of 0.62. I'm looking at good things, but look at how fast you get to my 5% rule. So only those are doing anything that I would pay attention to, and even then, I'm only paying attention to a couple of those coins. Everything else is 5% or lower. That means the bulk of the top 250 coins that I'm monitoring are moving sideways. Haven't done jack. They might be a little bit on the green side, but they really haven't done anything, right? They really had nothing's really going on. And when we go over the numbers some more, you start to realize that, the volume is not supported right now. Let's go back over here. So we already know that we have the CPI numbers coming out on Wednesday, PPI numbers coming out on Thursday, right? Right now, fear and greed index moved up a little bit. or actually moved down from 29 to 26. Last week it was as low as 22. So that's what I mean by up a little bit. DeFi Llama, $83 billion, 83 and basically $500 million total value locked. All right. But this is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm talking about right here. Look at the volume. Low volume, very low volume. So do I think that, this rise up is sustainable? No, I do not. I really do not. I think it's going to come back down. I think it's hitting that resistance right now. I think it's going to come back down below the 200 moving day average. All right. That's just what I see. I can see it maybe going above for a little bit longer, but I think it's going to be on its way down. And you can kind of see. You can kind of see it. We went above a little bit right there, but even then you can kind of see it starting to come down. So that's what I mean by, using your moving averages. So, I have a 20, that's the yellow line over here, right? That's that yellow line that trickles throughout. And then the orange one is the 200 that trickles out. And you can actually start to see, well, how is that working? Is it acting as resistance or is it acting as support? Right now it's acting as resistance, especially since you've got no real volume to support that rise. So yeah, unless there's something else, unless that we get some really good news, really good pushes, really good catalysts to come out, yeah, it's going to be what it is. Oh man, I didn't switch screens. My bad. So let's go back. Let me show you the start from the beginning. There you go. You have CPI coming out Wednesday. Thursday is PPI. There's the Fear and Greed Index, DeFi Llama at $83.609 billion total value locked. And what I'm saying is, if you look at this yellow line right here, you start to realize that, yeah, there's not a lot going on, right? And then you look at the yellow line is the 20-day moving average, and the orange line is the 200-day moving average. When you get over here, right, let me just mark that for you guys. When you get right here, right, and zoom in a little bit, you start to realize that, yeah, we're crossing the 200-day moving average. However, it's acting as resistance. You can already see right there that we're starting to come down. That's the resistance level right there. So I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, yeah, I'm going to pay attention to that, right? I'm still having great buying opportunities because you can see how it's doing the same thing, how it did the same thing there. It did the same thing here. So you see what I mean? You got resistance here. You can see how that's working. You had resistance right there. And you can pay attention to how that's actually going to be able to help you as you start to look forward. Now you know why, I'm saying, there's a reason why I use the 200-day moving average and the 20-day moving average together in sync to actually see what's there. But then now also when you look, okay, well, there's volume supporting that drop. Here's the volume. And then there's low volume, a little peak right here. There's no other volume that's supporting upward movement. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm just not seeing that volume. Maybe we'll see it later on in the day, but I'm not seeing it now, like at all. So that's why I'm kind of sitting back and looking at things and kind of going, yeah, I'm going to pay attention to that. All right. Then when I look at the big board, all I'm looking for are opportunities. Ethereum under 2,500, big opportunity for me. Cardano is at 34. Yeah, I'm in the green. Remember, I bought it like 30. When I read up, I bought it like 30, 31. So I'm happy about that. That's a 10% rise for me. Toncoin is actually up a lot out of the 4 range and into the 5s. That's good. Is this going to sustain? I don't think so. I think it's going to wind up going back down a little bit, but I'm also not bad about it. Not mad about it at all. This is giving me an opportunity to buy in. And when that dust settles about Telegram, Toncoin's going to shoot up again because there's a lot going on over at Toncoin. So that's why I'm looking at that. SHIB back above 13. I'm happy about that. Doge is still below 10. So if you like Doge, this could be a good point for you to actually get some more. But me, I'd rather be looking at SHIB, even Pepe, as one of my meme coins that I'd be paying attention to. Just saying, there are opportunities out there that if you do the math, you can actually see it. Solana, I think I'm holding a big enough bag. Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BCH. There are a lot of coins out here where I'll never think I'm holding enough. But I'm saying right now, I think Solana I'm holding enough. I really do think I'm holding enough Solana. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I really hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, hit the like button. It really helps, as well as subscribe. And if you can, become a member on YouTube and on growmybag.tv. We have a lot going on. We've got the crypto tracker as an Excel file. We have the crypto tracker coming to you very soon as as an online service. We've got the book that we have for crypto foundations for building multi-generational wealth. We have all of the articles. We drop like 20 articles a day on growmybag.tv. I hope you're catching up. I hope you're taking a look. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and there's more coming. We will be on Roku by the end of the year. We expect that to happen. And we have, the meetup that's going to start this Sunday at 4 p.m. for what? For the big bagger. So if you're a big bagger or you want to be a big bagger, you want to get on a video conference call with me live, you need to be a big bagger. Sign up and you'll be there on Sunday. The links go out later this evening. The links go out later this evening, and it's a weekly. It's a weekly thing for big baggers. So if you want to be a big bagger, you want to have a conversation with me, that's the opportunity to ask me questions and things like that. That's what we're talking about. We're also going to be launching a special group on GMB, growmybag.tv very soon, which is only for big baggers, right? That means that even if we're not live on video, we'll still be able to give each other messages and things like that offline. Well, not live, but online on the social platform. Because that's what we've got. We've got a growing ecosystem here, and we're going to keep it going with your help. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you have a good one. Thank you.